Hello, my name is Timothy Morris. My friends and colleagues call me Tim. I'm an attorney in Harnett County. During my 25 years of practice, I have represented a lot of people charged with DWIs. If you've received a charge of DWI or driving while impaired in Harnett County, I believe that I can help you. When you're charged with a DWI, there's a lot of what I call collateral damage. For example, most of the times on the very night that you get charged, your license is automatically suspended for 30 days. And that's prior to the time that you go to court. Now, during that time, you're going to have to find transportation to and from work, and perhaps child care, things such as that. As you can see, it can have devastating effects on your family. And if you're convicted of a DWI, you're going to lose your license, you'll have to pay expensive fines and court costs, and sometimes do community service, which you get the privilege of paying for. DWIs have real consequences for real people. There are two important facts to know when you get charged with a DWI. Number one, they're very political, and number two, they're difficult to defend. We all agree that everything should be done to prevent DWIs, but in my view, nothing should be done to erode the presumption of innocence that a person charged with any crime goes into the courtroom. So while it's okay that the district attorney is prosecuting DWIs aggressively, it's also important that they be prosecuted fairly. Representing someone with a DWI often involves a lot of complex legal issues, from the U.S. Constitution, the North Carolina Constitution, the North Carolina General Statutes, and even the Administrative Code. In my career, I've both prosecuted and defended hundreds, if not thousands, of DWI cases. So I know the science behind the machines. I'm familiar with the criteria that drug recognition experts have to know. I've even taken classes to become certified in standardized field sobriety test administration. Knowledge is truly power, and it has been critical in my defense of many DWI cases. There are a number of popular myths when it comes to the charge of DWI. I'm going to deal with three of them. Myth number one is you have to blow .08 or above in order to be convicted in North Carolina. That's not true. You can blow less than that. In fact, you can even blow 0 on the intoxilizer and still be prosecuted successfully for a charge of DWI. And the reason is that DWI in North Carolina has two different prongs. One is, of course, the blood alcohol limit, and the second one is what they call the impairment prong. And what the state would have to show in that case is that your physical and or mental faculties are appreciably impaired. There are also certain drugs that if are in your system, you can be found guilty of DWI. Popular myth number two, if I'm taking medication as lawfully prescribed by my doctor, I cannot be prosecuted for DWI. Wrong again. I cannot begin to tell you the number of cases that I have had that involve people that were taking medication, even when lawfully prescribed and in the appropriate amounts. Popular myth number three, why do I need a lawyer? It's just my first offense. I can't get jail time. Wrong again. In North Carolina, even on a first DWI offense, the court can sentence you up to 60 days active jail time. So you can see DWIs are very serious business in North Carolina. If your plan is to hire me to plead you guilty automatically, then I have to say I'm not your guy. When you pay me, I roll up my sleeves and I fight for your case. My approach is twofold. Number one, I want to protect the integrity of the system. Number two, I do that by making sure that the state can prove their case. Now, I'm not saying that there's times when it won't be in your best interest to enter a plea of guilty. However, my approach is to make sure first that the state can prove their case against you. In North Carolina, the law looks at a number of different factors prior to the time that they would sentence you if you're convicted of a DWI. The most important factor is whether or not you've had prior convictions for driving while impaired. If you've had 2 or more, you can receive up to 2 years active jail time. It also looks at other factors like your driving record, whether or not you were involved in an accident at the time, whether or not your license was revoked, and factors such as that. Also, If you blow over a certain amount on the intoxilizer, in North Carolina it's 0.15 or above, the court must impose the requirement that you get an auto ignition interlock system. Many people refer to that as the blow and go, and that's the machine that you have to have installed in your car and blow into it each time you start the car, and periodically during the time that you're driving it. I take DWIs very seriously, and I work those cases hard because I know how important it is for people to keep their license and to be able to take care of their family. I typically file pretrial motions. I investigate the facts of each case that I have and then research the law that may be applicable to the facts of your case. However, there are times when, in spite of my best efforts, I'm not able to get a good result, and that case will go to trial, or it may be in your best interest to enter a plea of guilty. If you're found guilty or you enter a plea of guilty, my office will assist you, if you're eligible, to obtain a limited driving privilege so that you'll be able to go back and forth to work and take care of your family. Over the span of my career, I can say that I've won some DWIs where I thought the evidence was close, but in fairness, I've lost some DWIs where I felt like the evidence was insufficient to convict. I say that to say this: no attorney can make you a promise, and I'm certainly not making you a promise about any results in your case. The only promise I make is that I'll be prepared, I'll know the law, and I'll make every effort to get a good result in your case. I'll even return your phone calls. Remember, there's only one foolproof way to win a DWI, and that's not to get one. Please don't drink and drive. When you do, you risk not only the life of others, but your own life as well. And in the process, you do a lot of collateral damage to the people that you love in your life. If it does happen, however, the choice that you make for an attorney is extremely critical. Please call my office for a free consultation, which I'll be glad to do over the phone or in person. My name's Tim Morris, and I can help you.